Or Hanoi and Manila upgrading ties from a strategic partnership to an official enhanced partnership. Vietnam's leader in the Philippines to increase both economic and security cooperation, with maritime defense a principal focus. Both have claims in the South China Sea, but the Philippine president stressing common interest in maintaining peace and order grounded on international law. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. hosting To Lam at the Malacanang Palace, the two leaders signing agreements on areas ranging from technology to law enforcement, and renewed a defense agreement from 2010 on keeping up exchanges and stepping up the sharing of information. Vietnam is the Philippines' sole strategic partner in ASEAN. President Marcos Jr. lauding a partnership that he says has become, quote, increasingly important amid geopolitical fragmentation and vulnerabilities in supply chains. Vietnam's To Lam also highlighting Manila's status as an important regional partner and underscoring his intention to elevate ties to what he calls a new high. And Mariejo Ramos is covering the story for CNA live from Metro Manila. Mariejo, always focus on security and defense, but agreements as well on softer areas.
Yes, Risu. Today's events mark a major upgrade in Philippines-Vietnam relations, with both countries elevating their decade-old strategic partnership as they celebrate 50 years of diplomatic ties. At the center of Mr. To Lam's two-day visit in Manila was a strong message of closer cooperation on not only security, but also trade, technology, education, tourism, and regional stability. The two sides earlier signed 4 agreements, including the renewal of the 2010 Defense Cooperation Pact, which expands collaboration on maritime security, military education, disaster response, and defense exchanges. But beyond security, both leaders also emphasize economic and people-to-people ties. Mr. Marcos said the two countries aim to grow bilateral trade beyond the current $7 billion toward a $10 billion target, while exploring investments in manufacturing, green technology, and the digital economy. Tourism and education were also key pillars in the bilateral discussion of the two leaders earlier, with a new tourism cooperation program and agreements promoting student and faculty exchanges. The push comes as Filipino travel to Vietnam continues to surge, with nearly 500,000 Filipino visitors expected this year. But overall, the Vietnam leaders' visit underscored a shared commitment to ASEAN centrality and a partnership that extends well beyond defense and even into economic growth.
On defense, though, Manila and Hanoi have rival and in some places overlapping claims on the South China Sea. So it is surprising in a way that Manila is not highlighting rivalry, but instead promising, pledging, and has in fact worked with Vietnam on those claims in the South China Sea. What does it suggest about Philippine priorities as far as territorial claims are concerned?
The meeting between the two leaders today is consistent with the strategy of the Marcos administration to enhance strategic ties and cooperation, not only in the region, but also with its key allies, with its long-standing allies. While the Philippines continues to deepen its security ties with traditional allies such as the United States, today's meeting shows that ASEAN-based partnerships remain a key pillar of its regional approach. That is particularly significant as both the Philippines and Vietnam, as you mentioned, face overlapping claims and common challenges in the South China Sea. But earlier, the two leaders advocated for peaceful dispute resolution under international law, including the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea and the 2016 arbitral ruling. It can be noted that Mr. To Lam's visit was conducted at the invitation of President Marcos. Vietnam is the Philippines' only strategic partner in Southeast Asia, and both countries share concerns over maritime security and have ongoing disputes with China in the South China Sea. But by renewing their defense cooperation agreement today and jointly reaffirming the importance of the UNCLOS, Manila is signaling that it wants to defend its maritime interests through a combination of international law, regional cooperation, and diplomacy rather than confrontation.
Well, thanks, Mariejo Ramos for CNA Live from Metro Manila.